Freeze!
Hold it right there, Solid Snake.
I made you and your men miles back, Campbell. Is this your way of saying hello?
I was hoping we could talk.
We have nothing to talk about.
Snake, I realize this isn't the kindest greeting, but the circumstances call for it. I urgently need to speak with you. Please just give me a few minutes of your time.
Sure. Right.
It's been a long time, Snake.
Didn't expect to see you again. Drink?
Got scotch?
Single malt, straight up in neat. If I remember right.
That you do. This house.
Built it myself.
I know you were a carpenter. You know, it's already been 3 years since you left. How's Alaska been treating you?
Colonel, did you come all the way out here with the cavalry to make small talk with me? Trouble, huh?
The world is on the brink of nuclear holocaust. We came to request your help.
Request? As if I have the choice to refuse.
You do. I know too well you can't be ordered or coerced. That you'll say yes, because you need to. Let me tell you about it first. A week ago, a C-5 Galaxy transport plane on a classified mission to South America vanished.
Terrorists?
Of course. But the problem is what it was carrying.
Nuke.
Yes, and then some.
Huh?
It was Metal Gear.
What?
Nuclear-capable bipedal armored vehicle designed to realize the possibility of nuclear strikes from anywhere in the planetary surface. The devil's candy of mass destruction to change the meaning of nuclear warfare, and it was on that plane.
But
Yes, you destroyed Metal Gear in Outer Heaven 7 years ago. But the US government recognized the strategic advantages of Metal Gear and secretly extracted the data from Outer Heaven. The development continued, just under a different flag. The South American hop was probably just a field exercise.
Christ.
Metal Gear's researchers were also on board. The idea of Metal Gear in terrorist hands goosed Washington into finding out its new location in just a week. Came in today.
Where?
Gindra.
Gindra.
Central Africa. Fairly small.
I heard there was a civil war going on. An armed uprising by a separatist ethnic minority. And that peacekeeping troops were deployed.
So, the Hermit keeps up with the news. Metal Gear is in the hands of the armed separatist group, Gindra Liberation Front, commonly known as GLF. Their leader is General Augustin Iguaban. Charismatic and armed to the teeth. They operate out of a virtually impregnable fortress, Galuade, in the mountains. Neither the Gindran government nor the UN can get to them. We also have intel that they recently hired several top-class mercenaries as consultants. We suspect that the mercenaries executed the Metal Gear hijacking.
So, they plan to win their independence by threatening nuclear strikes with Metal Gear.
Snake, come with me to Gindra. We need you. We need the legend.
Don't call me that. I know all the names for a killer, and that's one of them.
A military dictatorship in possession of Metal Gear. Damn it, you know they won't hesitate to push that button. And millions will die.
Colonel, I'm not in FOXHOUND anymore.
You're saying you won't go.
Why can't you leave me alone? Alaska is quiet, and my life is good.
You won't change your mind?
No.
Even if I tell you that the Fortress Galuade, GLF's home base, was once called Outer Heaven?
What?
The very same place where you went to war 7 years ago. Destroyed Metal Gear and became the legend.
Is there a connection?
I don't know. But the fact is, there is Metal Gear in Outer Heaven. You believe in coincidence? I believe in conspiracy.
And you want me to find out?
I'm asking you to join me. If the past is at your heels, you turn around and face it. Am I wrong? End it. Once and for all. It's all back there, in Outer Heaven.
Tell me about this mission.
Your mission is to infiltrate the Fortress Galuade. Rescue the hostages, and neutralize Metal Gear before its assembly is complete. Steve Gardner, the National Security Advisor, is in command of this mission.
Gardner himself.
America's best-kept secret just got hijacked, and may be used in a terrorist attack. Who else?
A national crisis, in fact.
A global one, I'd say. And one more thing. The Army's Delta Force is already in Galuade. Carry out the mission in concert with them.
Whose bright idea was this?
John Parker, Army Chief of Staff.
Top Army brass, huh?
Metal Gear's deployment was under Army control. They, of course, want to do something about the situation themselves. In addition, 4 people will serve as your backup personnel via the codec. First, Mei Ling.
Awfully young. Doesn't look like a soldier.
PhD candidate at MIT. Incidentally, she developed the new radar and codec system you'll be using. She'll be in charge of mission logs, saving, as well. When you have a question about the radar or the codec, or need to log in, save. Contact her at frequency 140.96. Brian McBride, Africa Desk, Director of Operations, Central Intelligence Agency.
CIA?
Don't look so disgusted. McBride effectively planned this mission and has expert knowledge of Gindran affairs. Ask him about the mission, GLF, or the Gindran environment if you need to. Frequency is 141.52. Raoul Lessenbreak, alias Weasel, a mercenary.
I've heard of them. Word is he's about as trustworthy as a weasel.
But he's good. Some say as good as Solid Snake, the legend.
So why is me working the field on this one?
The US government apparently has more trust in you.
I doubt that.
Anyway, Weasel's a player in the mercenary circle. He's well up on soldiers of fortune from all around the world. And we know that GLF has contracted some major ones. If you run across a live one, get Weasel on the codec. He'll have something useful for you. I have field control of this mission. Frequency is 140.85. If anything happens, contact me ASAP so I can stay on top of it.
Carl, didn't you retire from FOXHOUND 2 years ago? Why this mission?
No one can carry out this mission but you. I was only called in because I know you well.
And that's all.
I also have a score to settle with the past. We all have our shadows, Snake.
Snake, we've arrived over outer heaven. Galuade.
Ready to descend.
We're counting on you.
I know. It's all back here. This is Snake. Carl, can you hear me?
Successful Halo landing, I see.
Nothing like skydiving at dawn. Present location, 3 kilometers south of Fortress as planned. Heavy security, sentries ahead.
Snake, make sure you stay out of their sight.
Watch the radar to keep track of enemy movements. I'll go over it again just in case.
See the radar.
radar at the top right. The large dot is you. The others are enemy troops. Got it? Once you've been detected by the enemy, the radar will be non-operational. Be careful.
Your mission is to infiltrate Galuade. Work with Delta Force to rescue the researchers. And destroy Metal Gear. Orders will be relayed via the codec. My frequency is 140.85. Call if anything turns up. To use the codec, just press select. And then start. We'll be in touch when a call sounds. Push the select button to receive.
Raise me on frequency 140.96 when you need to save.
First, get to the front of the fortress. Cut northward through the jungle you're in.
Roger that.
Better concealment for you. Proceed under cover.
So you have a weapon now. That should increase your combat advantage. But exercise caution. If you fire a weapon, the noise will draw enemy soldiers in the vicinity. Stay sharp. Snake, the fortress Galuade is to the north. Proceed northward and stay out of the enemy's way at all costs. Snake, your mission is about infiltration, not combat. Make sure you aren't discovered by the enemy. Once you're discovered by the enemy, you'll be surrounded in a matter of seconds. There's no way out after that. Stay out of sight. Push the A button to take a swing. A punch is a good silent way to render the enemy unconscious. Push the control pad toward the wall to flatten yourself against it. Push the B button while flattened against a wall to take a quick look ahead. Make good use of it, and you'll be able to scan for surface features and enemy activity. If you're discovered by the enemy, they'll come after you in droves. We've designated that the alert mode. The radar will be useless. All it will do is display alert, and you will have no choice but to run like hell. If you manage to duck out of the enemy's sight, the radar display will begin a visual countdown. Once it hits 0, the enemy will call off the attack. But don't fool yourself, soldier. The attack may be called off, but the manhunt isn't. You need to keep out of the searcher's sight. This is the evasion mode. During the evasion mode, the radar will indicate evasion and display another countdown. If your concealment lasts until the 0 display, you're safe for the time being. The soldiers should return to their posts. Just make sure they don't discover your presence. Push the start button to crawl. To stand up from a crawl, push the start button again. Your speed will be down while you're crawling, but you'll be able to get into narrow spaces and conceal yourself in shrubs and marshy areas.
Snake, have you ever heard the quotation, "Beware lest you lose the substance by grasping at the shadow"? It's the moral of that Aesop story about a dog who lost the bone he was carrying because he tried to pick up the one he saw reflected on the river. You can lose what you have by reaching for something with no value. Snake, make sure you don't hurt yourself going after items that are too hard to get at. Snake, do you copy? Napoleon said, "Victory goes to the most persevering." Winning means readiness to see it through to the bitter end. I guess. It's a little frightening, though. You rang, Snake? Remember what Shakespeare said about complacency being your worst enemy? Don't get slack even when you get used to the game, okay?
The Gindra Liberation Front, or GLF, is an armed group led by the charismatic Augustine Egwaban, also called the General. Their agenda consists of independence for the Boyas, an ethnic minority within Gindra, and they've been loudly advocating the removal of Western influences and release of Gindra from First World exploitation. They enjoy extremely high support among the Boyas, and their powers have grown rapidly since the general took control. Gindra is currently under martial rule. 5 years ago, Commander William Weah, a Gunda, placed the military in the seat of power through a successful coup d'etat. His first official act was to appoint himself a lifetime president and become the head of state. His regime has carried out a program of repression on the strength of military power, but hasn't been able to disarm the GLF. The failure to bring them into line has brought the country to civil war. The Gindran climate is subtropical in nature, roughly divided between the hot rainy season and the cold dry season. Winter runs from May to August, and at its coldest, the temperature can drop to minus 26.8 degrees. Summer is September to November, and during this period the mean temperature is around 85 degrees, with the daytime high occasionally rising above 104 degrees. From October to April is the rainy season. Annual precipitation is approximately 650 millimeters. Nature in its untouched state is probably Gindra's strongest tourist draw. Nature preserves are fairly numerous in number, and hunting is allowed as long as you apply for a permit. But the recent movement towards conservationism means hunting permits are much more difficult to acquire.
Unless you're committed, you have no business being on the battlefield. Whatever made you come back to the field, you'd better be ready. In war, you have to go with your gut feeling. I've seen it make a difference between life and death. Keep your instincts on the edge. Using weapons won't necessarily get you an edge in close-quarter combat, abbreviated as CQC. Sometimes nothing beats aces in bare hands. Your comrades are what keep you going on the battlefield. Try playing a link battle sometime.
What's up, Snake?
Save.
Save completed. Snake, I know this is a difficult mission, but as long as you have confidence in yourself, you can carry it out. Confidence is the first rule of success, like Emerson said.
Emerson. So you're a literature expert, too.
Uh-huh. I knew you had me pegged as a hardware geek.
No, not exactly, but...
You know, I did take electives in college. I purposefully tried to learn things outside of my major, too. I'd rather be a well-balanced engineer.
So that's why you're always quoting.
There's a lot to learn from things different people have said. I'll make sure you get your exposure too. Need anything?
Do not save.
Later.
Snake, that area is marsh. You should be able to hide from the enemy if you crouch down and dive. But there's a local disease called Bilharzian, so it's best to stay away from ponds and bodies of water.
I've taken the oral vaccine. No need to worry.
The disease to watch out for in Gindra is definitely malaria. Malaria. Not again. The local strain is a particularly virulent one. Be careful. The preventive medication isn't perfect by all means. Once infection takes hold, the patient suffers from high fever in the neighborhood of 100 to 104 degrees for 2 to 3 days, accompanied by nausea, chills. There's a general sense of terrible fatigue as well as complete lack of appetite. If you think you've developed a case of malaria, go to the doctor immediately.
Rank. Terrible.
Snake, we have new intelligence.
Bad news.
How did you know?
You never exactly been a messenger of joy. So?
Seems that Delta Force was wiped out.
Are you serious?
It's true.
The Delta Force. The best of the Army's best. So easily?
It means they were outclassed?
Huh?
Those mercenaries on the enemy's payroll are all A-list guns. You've been out of action for a while, but I'm out there and I know what I'm talking about. If you're going to take one of them on, give me a buzz.
Planning to give me advice?
That's what I was hired for. It's a policy of mine to earn my keep. Frequency's 141.80, don't forget.
I won't.
Snake McBride from the CIA here. Don't underestimate GLF. They aren't just another rebel group. Their annual revenue from drug and rare metal trafficking is more than $50 million. And their black market arms were financed by that money. Their weapons are all state-of-the-art. Be careful. I'm with the Africa Desk of Ops. I can provide data on not just the GLF, but on things like Gindran climate, flora, and fauna. My frequency is 141.52.
All right.
Snake, continue with the mission. Infiltrate the fortress Galuade.
Snake, first gain entry to the fortress. Enemy security should be even tighter than was in the jungle. Keep your eyes open, especially for surveillance cameras. Snake, that's the main gate of Galuade right there, but it'll be tough getting in that way.
It's time for a shift change!
Is it already?
Come on, hurry up! We're both in big trouble if they catch us slacking off!
Relax. If anyone ever comes out here.
Snake, get inside Galuade. The main gate of the fortress is to the north. Head for the main gate. Snake, infiltrate the fortress. Find a way inside the structure. When you want to use your equipment, first push the select button to bring up the menu. Select equipment by pressing the control pad up or down. Then exit the pause menu to start using the item. You should be able to deal with any situation that comes up if you use the right equipment. Learn to choose them. Select a weapon of your choice by pressing the control pad left or right. Then, exit the pause menu. You'll find the weapon in your hand. But remember that your mission is about infiltration, not combat. You're to avoid unnecessary conflicts. The sentry should be making the same rounds every time. Snake, try getting past behind their backs. If you're equipped with rations, you can automatically recover life with them in case you run out of life. Make good use of them. Snake, taking down an enemy without being spotted could gain you an item. Try targeting someone when rations and ammo start to run low. Snake, check out the back of the truck over there. You may find an item of some kind.
There's no time to let your attention wander in battle conditions. Stay on top of things around you at all times. And I wouldn't recommend walking and playing at the same time. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone I know used to say that there were 52 styles of holding a gun. But style's got nothing to do with war. The important thing is to live through it. Am I right? Use whichever weapon suits the situation. Sticking to a weapon that has no effect is a waste of ammo and may cost you your life. Don't ever be proud of your war wounds. It's better not to be wounded at all. I've never gotten a wound that left a scar.
What about that one over your right eyebrow?
No, this I didn't get in a war.
What is it then?
What you might call the wages of sin, I guess.
Snake, you are now in the armed fortress Galuade, the home base of the GLF. Galuade is considered virtually impregnable. Rebuilt from the gutted shell of outer heaven and improved upon the original. As a military installation, it's state-of-the-art, and neither the Gindran government nor the UN have had much luck. Exercise every caution.
Cicero wrote that a man should eat in order to live and not live in order to eat. Rations are useful, but you shouldn't stuff yourself. What's up, Snake? Health is a blessing money cannot buy. Is a Qualton. Make sure you don't get injured.
entrance, but I doubt that the enemy will let you in through their front door. There must be an available access point somewhere.
Is anyone out there? Can anyone hear me? This is...
No, who is this?
Who is this?
Thank God. This is Sergeant Chris Jenner of Delta Force.
Delta Force, a survivor.
It wasn't annihilated.
No. Who are you? The U.S. rescue team?
No, I'm the black sheep you were supposed to work with.
Not FOXHOUND.
Solid Snake speaking.
You! I've heard things about you.
What kind of things?
The best saboteur ever. The one who destroyed Metal Gear in Outer Heaven 7 years ago. The legend.
Don't believe everything you hear. Some say I'm just an attention-seeking killer.
So, which is true?
Make up your own mind.
Sergeant Jetter, are there any other survivors from the unit besides you?
No, everybody else. They're monsters, sir.
They? You mean those mercenaries?
Yes, especially the leader. A man called Viper. There was nothing we could do, even if it wasn't an ambush.
An ambush? The mission was leaked.
I don't know, but
This is an absolutely classified mission. There is no way it could have been compromised.
Want to bet? There's always someone who's willing to sell out. What makes an American brass tick, huh? Money, power, glory, women, men.
Can it? There is no risk of spies here.
Pretty sure, aren't you?
Everyone involved in this mission has undergone rigorous background checks.
I see. They're all trusted.
How about it, Colonel?
This is a top-secret mission. Only a handful of people know of it, in the government and the military. I have to agree with McBride.
All right. Sergeant Jenner, is Metal Gear really inside the fortress?
yes. I still don't have the exact location, but the assembly is apparently near completion, and the researchers have been confined to another building.
Do you have the location of the researchers?
I'm sorry. All I know is they're somewhere here in Galuade.
Okay. How did you enter the fortress?
Through the drainage system.
The drainage system.
Bingo. You saw those buildings with recessed east walls. There are hidden access ways down into the ground in those recesses.
Building with an indented east wall. Entry into an underground route in the recess. Got it. Get yourself back there and get out of here.
No, I'm staying here.
No, you're not. I have no time to babysit a brownie. You get out.
No.
Sergeant.
I will not abandon the mission.
But
I have to finish this.
For your fallen comrades. Snake, having an ally in the field could be useful.
Please, sir.
All right. You've got guts, I'll grant you that.
Thank you.
We'll rendezvous inside the fortress. In the meantime, gather as much intel as possible.
Got it.
You watch out for your own back until then.
Of course.
And no cowboy hacks.
I know that.
And one other thing.
Yes.
Can I call you Chris?
We don't know each other that well.
We could easily change that.
As comrades in arms?
That's up to you.
Okay, my frequency is 140.25. Ask me if you have any questions about the fortress.
Okay, Chris.
Good luck, Snake.
All right, Snake. Look for that way into the duct that Sergeant General was talking about. Go to the building with a recessed east wall and get underground from the concealed entry point in the recess. Snake, complete the mission with Sergeant Jenner's cooperation.
As long as she doesn't slow me down.
There you go again. I bet you're secretly thrilled to have a female partner.
I would be if this were a vacation.
Gain entry into the fortress from the drainage system. You see those buildings with indents on the east side? There should be a ladder concealed in the recess on the east side of the cottage. Go down the ladder and enter the drainage system.
That's a 5.7 pistol, a handgun designed for low recoil, high impact 5.7 millimeter ammunition. The 5.7 millimeter is a new type of cartridge. With its high muzzle velocity and pointed tip, it can penetrate most body armor without the usual downside of increased recoil and lowered targeting accuracy. The 5.7's magazine can hold 20 rounds. And the use of industrial plastic cuts down on the weight and probability of malfunctions. You can muffle the firing noise too if you can find a suppressor. That's a mean little handgun you've picked yourself.
I've had the service records for that, Sergeant Jenner looked up. Jenner, Christine, age 25, in service for 8 years. As you can imagine from her having been chosen for this mission team, her records are exemplary. Father and mother, no siblings. Parents divorced when Jenner was 12. Mother got custody. The last name, Jenner, is her mother's. Father is an entrepreneur, never missed an alimony or child payment. A very generous sum, more than enough for just 2 people to live on. Jenner certainly didn't grow up hungry. Joined the Army immediately after graduation from a big-name school with excellent grades. Cleared the selection process for Delta Force with flying colors only 4 years after completing basic training. As you know, Delta Force doesn't take anyone less than the best of the Army's best. Since then, she's been steadily moving up, and evaluations by her CO have been consistently high. She may be young, but there's no doubt about her abilities.
You can enter Galuade through the drainage system. Find an underground passage that leads into the drainage system. Did you notice that a few of the buildings are recessed on their east side? The way down into the ground is hidden in one of those recesses. That's where you'll find the way down.
You rang, Snake?
Save.
Save completed. Ever heard of this? Dr. Copplethorne says,
Look, these quotations and sayings are great. But I'd also like to get to know you.
foolish is the one who offers deep confidence and shallow alliance.
What?
It's a Chinese proverb. Means that it's unwise to tell important things to someone you don't even know.
Great.
That rifle's an RS, a licensed South African version of the Israeli Galil assault rifle. The prototype for those is the AK-47 Kalashnikov. The same systems as the AK-47 are used in its design. That is, it's gas-operated and has a turn bolt. A very reliable and sturdy piece of equipment.
Snake, you need card 1 to open that door. Card 1 should be in that truck to the northwest.
Snake, that underground passage doesn't seem to be connected to the drainage system. Find another passage. Snake, there's a service entrance. Is there any way in through that?
Rank. Terrible.
Next time on Metal Gear, Ghost Recon Solid Mission. Solid Metal Babylon. That sounds right.
I could follow that.
Snake, we can all hear you.
Is Metal Gear Ghost Babel canon? I will present a brief 45-minute in-depth analysis.
No! Wait, are we really doing this again?
We are flushing our septic system today. Charge incoming.
Hey, look at me, I'm the lawnmower man. Remember that movie? Access denied. On the door.
I am God.